How do? The prison service will quite definitely tell you private sector prisons are performing well, and always have. I worked at the prison in the title HMP Forest Bank. Yeah, private prison. Over 20 years ago I worked there. Hope everyone's as well as can be. So let me tell you about private prison. End of the video, I'll tell you, or compare private and public sector prisons. Let's tell you where we were 20 years ago. So I went into that job, a lot of new people to the channel, moved from sunny Yorkshire, Sheffield, went to live in Manchester. Did my training, first time in the jail. Everyone to me looked really pale, the prisoners. They weren't shy in coming forward. First day, stood in my uniform, brand new, not ironed, straight in my face, one guy. Can't wait for you to get in here, kid. You're gonna get terrorised. Finished my training into the prison. Working with young offenders, 18 to 21 year olds. Super violent population, loads of energy. I did enjoy it. Met a lot of lads who I still know. Sadly, a lot of them lads are no longer with us. Killed. And a lot of them lads are doing a lot of time, a long time. They went from sort of apprentice criminals to major criminals. Again, it's very difficult to describe a private sector prison. On the wing. Hello, hey. What are you doing, giddy pants? Very difficult to describe. 2 staff, 86 prisoners then. I think they increased the number to 96 on a wing. When I say 2 staff, you might be working with someone who was absolutely terrified, spent all day in the office, so you're on your own. You might be working with someone who was absolutely terrified and left the wing at every opportunity. Come on. I'm getting terrorised by that little dog. Ran on adrenaline, me. Most days at some point during the day, feel quite sick in the bottom of your stomach when you were challenged. People would front you. If you're a decent officer trying to do a decent job, and they saw you as getting in their way, maybe stopping them doing what they were doing, yeah, they would challenge you. It was terrifying at times. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, I did. 40, what was that? Around about 40 when I went into the job. Come on, Stevie. Around about 40 when I went into the job. I got some life experiences, been about, worked the doors. I haven't mentioned this for a while, some people get triggered. Played rugby, you know, used to a bit of physicality and that. Very, very challenging job. However, I enjoyed it, I really did. Money wasn't good. I think I started on 18 grand at that time. Public sector prison officer was on around about 29, 30,000 pounds plus a good pension. I was on some Mickey Mouse pension. You were constantly understaffed. Every weekend you could guarantee you had no staff. You used to have a job called general duties. At the weekend there should be 8, 10 of these people floating about the prison to go and help out. Never. You would have staff on the wings and that was it. If there was an incident and there was 2 of you, if you were the one with bottle, you'd be the one leaving the wing to go on incident maybe, and leaving your mate locked in the office or whatever. That's how it was. But again, a lot of energy, a lot happening, got to know a lot of people, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But they were constantly recruiting 20 years ago. That'll have got way worse. They basically, you know, the pool of people who were eligible for staff, they'll have used that up. And basically they are employing, it's not an insult this, but they're employing kids, very young people. The standards have dropped. You know, I used to have standards. When I started, they wanted my O-level certificates. As a 40-year-old, you know, 26 years or 24 years after leaving school, I was good at maths. They wanted me O-level certs, but yeah, no standards, they'll take anybody. And that's not an insult to people who work there, because even if they're not very good at the job, you know, very, very difficult. And I've got a feel for them. So the title, rapes, sexual assaults, violent crimes. What you have to understand now about all prisons is a lot of new staff, a lot of inexperience, yeah? Particularly private sector, they suffer. Private sector prisons. So Forest Bank and 6 other prisons in England and Scotland are run by Sodexo. It's a French catering company. Last year, sort of related earnings, etc., was round about, wait for this is for 6 prisons, 22 billion euros. Billion euros. An underlying profit of just over €1 billion. Private prisons for profit. Sexual assaults in prison. Difficult one, that. There was a few at Forest Bank when I was there, and at Strangeways. Got to imagine in male jail. Male prisoner gets raped by another male prisoner. At that time, mostly male staff. Who'd you go to? You know, approach a member of staff. Very difficult. When I worked on K-Wing, which is just the name of the wing at Strangeways, a lad approached me. I liked him a lot. Big lad. Gym lad. He'd been in a cell with another lad equally as big. I know what had happened. He come to me. Can I have a word in private? He broke down. Said he'd been raped. I asked him whether he wanted to report, and he said no, he didn't. He said he needs some help though. It happened within a couple of days, and he was feeling suicidal, worthless. Turned down a visit with his missus. Felt hopeless, me, not a lot I could do. Tried to get him some help for things in cases like that are few and far between. A lot of sexual assaults are related to drugs and mobile phones. This is a particularly nasty term, spooning. Somebody is suspected of having drugs concealed on themselves, up their back passage, or mobile phones. Mob-handed. Other prisoners will get hold of them, turn them upside down, take a prison spoon and literally scoop them out, try and scoop the drugs and mobile phones out. Tough gig. Forest Bank, loads of assaults, rapes, sexual assaults reported to the police. There's not a lot you can do inside. I would imagine now that quite definitely, you know, gangs are running the wings. You basically turn up with your keys, unlock people, serve the meals, lock them back up at night, and that's your job. Zero control. But again, the prison service will tell you, the Majesty Inspector of Prisons reports that all private sector prisons are running well. Bullshit. No, they won't be. Dangerous, dangerous job. But I enjoyed it for a time. I can't imagine what it's like now. Let me just tell you the difference in private and public sector prisons then, for those that are new to the channel. Public sector workers, a lot more of them. When I went from private sector to public sector, Forest Bank, I've just talked about, to Strangeways or HMP Manchester, dream job. Loads more staff, better money, the regime was better. It was a different world, it really was. Tough gig. Equally, you know, plenty of times at Strangeways I saw my arse, dump of adrenaline, called out, felt threatened, intimidated. Very, very tough job. I'm lucky, I had skills, you know, good at talking to people, getting on with people, understanding people. A lot of people don't have them skills. Very, very dangerous. I'd just like to thank everyone who supported the channel, people who support me on Patreon, bought me a brew, guests past, present and future. I will be vlogging tomorrow, Saturday, and I'll be vlogging Sunday. The boy's out again. For those of you who miss him or enjoying the scene, he did have a limp. He's back to his super shiny self. It's nice to be out myself, nice to be talking. Been through a bit of a rough patch, it happens. Back on track. Smashing the exercise, guys. I'm not unwell. I have lost a bit of weight and I'm sleeping a little bit better. Again, thanks for the support, all the kind comments, especially to guests. If you'd like to come on the channel, drop us an email. If you can't do that, get someone to do it. I will put a pinned comment in the description, and the pinned comment, like I've just said, to the article referring to Forest Bank Prison. I'll see you there.